to go about this, there are definitely certain operational challenges, right? Like I touched upon earlier. And generally, what happens is there is one IT team that kind of manages the whole organization. And if that organization has, say, multiple plants set up in different geographical areas, could be in geographically separated areas or even in one city for that matter, but different locations, then it's one particular team, and more often than not, an IT team that has to manage all of these. Then there are OT engineers at times that are deputed at each of these plants to make sure the show runs right on a day-to-day basis, everything is going on fine. And then any issue that comes in, or any need for any minor upgrades, any patches that come in, there is always back of the mind, the problem is that if there is a downtime, that it can have a direct business impact. And if something new from security policy has to be brought in, then there are always certain business impact related hindrances that the teams deal with. And this then becomes a major reason for either delaying some of these implementation of policies, or even if there are even cases where some of these policies that may not be seen as mandatory are pushed out as optional ones due to the potential business impact that kind of drives this whole process. And this is where it becomes imperative for us to make sure that we go out there, identify what's on the network, right? You need to know what is out there that is running your whole network on a day-to-day basis. What are your devices doing, and I mean, who's talking to who, and which are the devices they're talking to, again, internally and externally, and how, what are the protocols that are being used, what is the information being shared, what signals are being sent, what instructions are being sent and received. And all of these needs to be actively captured and actively identified and projected to the security team that has the responsibility of managing the whole org. And with that, use that information and define the necessary policies that you think is going to help your network today and tomorrow, and enforce those policies, bring about awareness internally, highlight the potential issues if some of these policies are not implemented, and then go about using that as a starting point and set necessary standards across various levels of your organization, right? You may be talking purely about hardware, or you could be talking about the software that runs your, could be a SCADA or various such parts of the system, and all the different configurations on these devices, everything, all possible angles have to be covered, and it has to be done at an org level.